Congratulations, Srishti.
Thank you, sir.
And when is your interview?
So it is on 16th of January.
16th January. Okay. So you graduated in computer science.
Yes, sir.
Did something in artificial intelligence or some internship?
Yes, sir.
So what impact do you think AI is going to have on the Indian economy?
So artificial intelligence is going to have a great impact in terms of increasing the productivity and efficiency. So firstly, it is going to create new job opportunities. As NESCOM has also pointed out that it will create around 46 million job opportunities in specialized domain. Secondly, sir, it will help in it is application in various domains like in the agriculture, which can improve the productivity in terms of precision agriculture. And secondly, sir, it will also lead to the new technological advancement, whether it be in the field of research and development that can help to scale up our pharmaceutical industry, or be it in the education sector, increasing the human capital.
Okay. Tell me, is unemployment a big problem in the country? I'm just asking.
Yes, sir. I do believe that it is still a problem, even if it is has decreased to 4.7%. But we are on the cusp of reaping our demographic dividend. And if the youth, for which the unemployment rate is in the double digit, it remains and it shows that our we will not be able to have the economic dividends that we can reap, and it can cater to other crises as well. So I think it is still an issue which we need to work upon.
So how does AI impact unemployment?
Artificial intelligence will bring transition in the jobs that we are looking at. Some jobs will become redundant, and it can create the unemployment in that, especially in the routine tasks, or we see the entry level jobs. But sir, it will also create new job opportunities. And the area we need to focus upon is that we are skilling and upskilling our youth to reap those opportunities which are going to come in the future.
Okay. One more question. Are you aware of how the Panchayati Raj institutions are functioning? Is there any need for further improvement, or are we decentralized enough?
So we have done great progress in the Panchayati Raj institution. But sir, there are certain issues which still need to be resolved, especially in the fully functional decentralization, the fund decentralization to the Panchayati Raj institution, and better implementation of the developmental plans that are formed. So to have full potential that it can reach.
Ma'am.
Hello, Shrishti, and congratulations for reaching the interview stage.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're from a lovely city of Gwalior.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You've taken anthropology. Tell me, what is the function of magic in a rational society?
Ma'am, magic is said to have a functional role that it helps to elevate the anxiety, or it answers the questions which the science cannot answer yet. So sometimes the situation comes that we are not able to explain why we are not able to, why certain things are happening which cannot be explained by science. And then the role of magic comes.
So, can you give us any example?
Yes, ma'am. There are certain tribal societies which still practice magic, like when they're going into deep fishing. So they have proper equipments. They have their boats, but still they fear that disasters may come or floods, something unusual can happen. And then they have certain magic rituals of their customs which they follow.
Okay. You spoke about AI, so I asked you a lot of questions. Tell me, which areas do you foresee being majorly impacted by AI? And how can those who are impacted by it reinvent themselves? One or two major areas you could.
Ma'am, first, I believe is the jobs and the transition that is coming.
No, area.
Okay. Ma'am, one is research and development. We are looking that it is transforming how research is happening. Even United States have launched our Genesis mission for that. And secondly, ma'am, in healthcare, I believe artificial intelligence can play a big role. And even in the security domain, like autonomous weapon systems are developing, and it is changing the scenario of the warfare.
Okay. What is a circular economy?
That circular economy is one where whatever the waste is generated, it is reused and reintegrated back into the society. So it helps to us to transition to a more sustainable economy.
Okay. Is India working towards circular economy?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. We have been introducing the recycling norms. We are also focusing upon reducing the wastage, and more initiatives are being launched in this domain.
Thank you.
So, Srishti, what does the word Srishti means?
So it means creation. It also means the universe, natural world.
Okay, very nice name. Okay, foreign service is your second choice. So, you're keen to join foreign service.
Yes, sure.
So, which are the foreign secretaries which have impressed you most, and the most famous foreign ministers which you have liked most?
So first is our External Affairs Minister Jaishankar sir. His approach towards and his perspective towards the international relation is really appreciable. Some more is about our former foreign secretary. He has also inspired a lot.
What's his name? Former.
Sir, I know, but at this moment, I'm.
Yes, Mr. Ortiz.
Which former secretary? Uh, Ma'am, I'm just not able to recall the name at this moment.
Harshvardhan Shingla.
Harshvardhan Singla or Mr. Quatra?
Shingla sir.
Then Wapra came.
Okay. So recently, our honorable Prime Minister was on a visit, 3 nation tour to certain nations. Which were the nations? Why did he visit those places?
Sir, the three nations are Oman, Ethiopia, and Jordan. And sir, coming to the reason, the first is, sir, that India wants to expand its strategic footprint in the Horn of Africa and Middle East, as we are looking that United States is changing its policy and increasing its footprint there with the Gaza peace talk, or be it the reinvented relations with Saudi Arabia and the Abraham Accord. And secondly, sir, Pakistan and China, they are also increasing their influence. So we need to have a counterweight to that. And sir, thirdly, India has also signed CEPA with Oman to increase our trade with bilateral trade with them, which is in line with our diversification of export and enhancing the economic cooperation.
So, what is the problem of this Gaza Strip and Palestine and Israel? And what has been the traditional role of India all along?
So the issue is historical in nature, which goes back to the World War times, and now it has become majorly community-based ethnic issues as well, and it has taken a geopolitical turn with the issue between the Israel and Palestine and the sovereignty over it. So we have seen the recent conflict over that, and so coming to the second part about the India's role. So we have always supported the two-state formula, which has been advocated by United Nations, and a peaceful and bilateral resolution of it. And still, we are on the side of peace. We provide the humanitarian support, though we are neutral in. We are not taking any side, but we are providing humanitarian support to it.
So, we are on the side of peace in Ukraine, or we are on the side of peace in Palestine?
So in both these cases, we are on the side.
What is the Indian connection in the happenings recently in Australia?
So, India has India has been standing in support of Australia. The the terror attack which happened on the Jews population there, and we have expressed our solidarity, and we stand with them in the fight against terrorism.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Srishti, just tell me, What are the provisions for protection of tribals by the government? What are the in India?
So, various protection is there. There are constitutional provisions, there are policy initiatives and laws which have been there. So, the first I will emphasize upon is the Forest Right Act, which ensures the protection of their land and habitation right. So, secondly, under the constitutional articles like 46, and we have the fifth and sixth schedule areas which protects their culture while ensuring their integrated development into the society. And so we have various welfare schemes as well, like the recently launched Janman scheme or the tribal sub-plan, which have been in place for time being now.
Do you have any idea of say tribals of Northeast? What is the specialty of those people? What kind of laws and rules they are governed by? Local rules.
Yes, sir. So majority of the Northeast tribals, they are covered under the sixth schedule, and sir, there we follow approach where we are protecting their culture while ensuring their development, because the types of Northeast are very pristine in following their culture. So we have special provisions also, like for Article 371A for the Nagaland is there, and we ensure that there is local empowerment of the local bodies, the governance bodies there.
Okay. So tell me, you have done a computer science. What are the measures to counter GPS spoofing?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware about the mechanism to have it, but yes, sir, protection measures like the detection of the threats are there, but I'm not sure of it.
Okay. You do this walking.
Yes.
How long? How much time is it?
Sir, I try to walk around 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day.
What is the aim? What is the objective of brisk walking? Aim of brisk walking?
So for me, it is the keeping myself fit, having mindfulness, and also it helps me to reflect back on the day.
So you're looking one of the things keeping yourself fit. So you are burning some calories. So what are the parameters? How do you calculate how much calories have been?
Calories are basically calculated upon how much we are walking and at what pace and how much fat is being burned. It depends upon the age and gender also. So, for example, sir, if I am walking around 8,000 steps, then I burn around 228 calories.
So it is only flat or some gradient also makes a difference.
So, gradient do make a difference. It burns more calories in comparison to walking on a flat terrain.
Speed, distance, and gradient.
Yes.
Okay. One more thing is that you be reflective generally. Or since when you are being
So this has been a very long time habit of mine. I started it in my schooling.
nobody knew about it, the people then.
So the credit goes to one of my teachers. She always encouraged us to do, and it was that time it was on her instructions. But later on, I adopted it as a deliberate practice of mine, and every night I ensure that I do at least for 5 to 10 minutes. I do reflective journaling every day.
Thank you. Christy, you did very well. You are quite aware of very wide and diverse subjects you're aware of. So I'm sure you'll do very well. Keep it up. For some time, I thought you could look even more confident with the kind of knowledge that you have. But it's all right. In the end, I say no further improvement needs to be done. Just be natural.
You're doing fine, Srishti. I think it's good. You replied nicely to function of magic in rational society. It was a difficult question. And even about the AI, which are the areas you didn't understand first. I was talking about which areas will get impacted. So listen to the question. It's not normally in the interview, they'll not ask you a routine question. They'll ask you a very pointed question.
Yes, sir.
So just listen.
You've been in the interview before also, and you know what exactly.
Who's bored? Sorry to interrupt. Whose board was it?
Honorable, ma'am, Honorable Shri Vardhan sir.
Very good board.
So how much did I give you?
So I scored not so well. I scored around 164.
So you can do much better this time. With a little bit of efforts. You prepare a list of questions which are being asked. How many mocks have you done so far?
So this is my first mock this year.
Okay. So appear in a few more mocks. You will know the type of questions which are being asked. You know exactly how questions are asked in the interview board also. You can't predict the questions. But normally it has to be on DAO, the subject, your employment or current affair. So based on that, you should prepare the list. And after the questions are over, you think what you could have answered better. A lot of thoughts keep coming on mind. I could have said it better like this. Pen down those thoughts. Once you are able to pen down those thoughts, next time when you go to the interview board, you will be much more confident. That is the only advice. Otherwise, you're doing exceedingly well. This time you should be able to do very well. Okay.
I think you will definitely go about for 164. One thing I noticed, initially you were slightly nervous.
Okay.
Were you then sir and then madam and then you gradually sober down, cool down
So it could be there.
initially, but then you realized that okay, not much. ठीक है ये normal बातचीत हो रही है, right? You initially were speaking very fast. And then into halfway, when you realize you are giving good answer, you are nothing, you can handle it, then you feel low. And then you were very deliberate, then it was very good. You can, graduating couple of more mocks, that thing will do and that will become, otherwise very, very good.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So you'll find it in your feedback also.
Okay, sir.
I wrote something and then I deleted it. Okay, so you improved while performing.
What I need to do?
No, you're doing good. You're doing good. You just feel more confident. I mean, because initially, as sir has mentioned, it appeared as if you're a little nervous and less smiling and a kind of a little tentative, although you knew everything. So that with the kind of knowledge that you have, you could look a little more confident.
Yes, sir.
All the best.